This year on GGSP, we're going to be taking a look at more mobile and tablet games. There's just so much good stuff coming out that's easy to miss.
And a lot of the time, these games are free to download, so you can have a play without too much fuss.
So today we're going to check out one that's free, one that costs almost as much as a console game, and one that's only a few dollars, which is the one I've been playing, a really funny puzzle platformer called Bring You Home. It's the story of a weird alien, Polo, who's just had his weird little pooch kidnapped by some weird hooded figures who then disappear through a weird-looking portal. Wasting no time, he sets off after them and thus begins a chase through the many colourful, puzzling, and might I add, weird worlds. Each of these levels requires you to navigate the bumbling blue chap across the screen, avoiding obstacles to safely reach the other side. And you do this by swiping panels that will alter the stage in some way or another. Here, kind of like this.
Whoa!
Hey.
Oh, don't do that again.
Sorry. While only one combination will actually work, what makes this game so much fun to play is experimenting with all the different variations. Because finding the solution requires you to mess about and see how Polo will interact with each new panel. And guys, I've got to be honest, it's hard not to crack a smile when you see just how many ways there are to fail in all of these absurd situations. Especially as it's all done with such charm. There is some serious love and attention that's gone into the art style and the animations here. Each new stage is always delightfully unexpected. There are lots of little nods to other games. Not to mention, many of these panels are designed purely to troll you. It's just great. Plus, this game is no cakewalk. Later stages will add panels that are multi-directional or that can be moved multiple times per run. I found myself getting seriously stumped more than once, but never frustrated enough to stop playing. Bring You Home is a short adventure, but I was smiling the entire time. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
That sounds like crazy fun. Well, I've been playing a free game, the super relaxing Fern Flower. This is a beautifully simple little game that has you traversing mountain ranges to collect rare flowers.
Ooh, a bit of history for you spawnlings. This game is very loosely based off Baltic mythology, which originated from northeastern Europe in the Middle Ages. According to myth, a fern flower is a magical flower that brings whoever finds it good fortune.
Huh, thanks, Darren.
Fascinating.
You start off playing as a small rogue creature called Doe. And after a brief tutorial, you're on your way. The controls are really simple. You tap the right and left of the screen to make small jumps and hold down for longer, slower jumps. It sounds easy, but things get a bit tricky when the game forces you to get creative with your moves. Narrow, winding paths, jagged edges, and changes in terrain can see you losing your footing if you aren't paying close attention, which can be equal parts fun and tedious, especially when you're so close to beating your high score and kersplat. If you do slip up, you do have the option to revive yourself using the flowers you've collected along the way. However, I would have liked to have seen more of a balance between how many flowers you get versus how many you need to spend, though. I was only collecting maybe 2 or 3 every run, and then needing to spend 5 every time I died, so I wouldn't have to start all over again. It just gets a bit frustrating, but that's the biggest downside for me because the rest of Fern Flower is really enjoyable. It's atmospheric, challenging, but not rage-inducing, and most importantly, it kept me coming back. I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
It sounds so nice and chill, which is the exact opposite of the frantic adventure game that I played, Dandara. Dandara is a Metroidvania-style game, which means it has a huge sprawling map with lots of pathways that you can only unlock with certain abilities or items. So as you explore, the world kind of unfolds around you, and what a world it is. Welcome to the land of salt. But no interesting world is complete without an interesting character to play. Enter Dandara, a super cool girl hero who is awoken to restore balance to the world of salt. She can zip around and stick to walls and shoot energy beams out of her hands. As soon as I saw her with her floaty scarf and pew-pew powers, I was super keen to take this journey with her. And how cool and competent she is comes across in her movements too. For example, I love the way she floats and twirls as she glides through gateways, and you can feel the pent-up energy as she crouches before zipping between platforms and landing heavily. There's so much strength and grace in her movements that it makes the game really compelling to play. In fact, the whole game is great in the way that it uses gravity. It's fluid and interesting as it twists and turns. Plus, everything looks gorgeous, really polished and thoughtfully designed. There's also a great balance of fast and slow sections, so it always keeps you on your toes. You've got to learn where you're going and what's around the next corner, because life comes at you fast. I did find myself getting a little lost, but I think that's just its nature. It's a big puzzle world to lose yourself in. Dandara on mobile costs about the same as it does on PC and console, which is around $20, which feels a lot for a mobile game. But the touch controls are really refined and I think it holds up super well. I'm giving Dandara 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, all really good games.
Want to play some more?
Totally. Oh, message from my mum.